Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the comfort zone. How comfy are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 out of 10. I could fall
Are
asleep.
you?
Yeah.
I'm also getting quite cozy. It's actually really hot up here in the comfort zone studio.
I need an ice cream.
I think that's what we're going to do after. I know.
I feel like a child being taken on a day out.
What's your favourite ice cream flavour?
I don't know. Mint choc chip. Maybe
That
not.
makes me
Maybe?
think of you as like a 40-year-old woman.
I am.
True.
I've literally
true.
said so many times I
True.
embody grandma.
Grandma energy.
No, that would be
Mint
rum
choc
and
chip
raisin.
energy. True.
Rum and raisin
If you
energy.
order that, you are old at heart. And I rate it.
You
rate it.
You sounded like you were going to go into like an insult then. If you order that, you are old at heart.
I couldn't be mean because, I mean, if that's your vibe, then that's your vibe.
I'm sure we have some rum and raisin enjoyers.
Yeah. Comment below.
Comment below, what's your favourite ice cream flavour?
I'm trying to think what mine is. I feel like Oh, cookie dough. No?
Overrated.
Get out.
Okay.
Get out.
Ben and Jerry's fish food.
No, Netflix and chill.
Oh, you like peanut butter.
It's peanut butter, pretzel, brownie, chocolate, something else. So
Oh,
good.
I love Ben and Jerry's.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Anyways, before we get into this episode, before we have a laughing fit,
yes.
shall we do our wins and wobbles?
Yeah, let's go for it. This week's been a pretty good week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I've done to make it a good week, but it's all been a blur, as normal, but I just know it's been good vibes.
I know a win that is your win as well as my win.
Are you just,
Maybe we
you're just
start with
naming my win for me?
Yep.
Yep.
Taking over.
Yep. I really appreciate that, actually. Announce it to the room.
We had a really great meeting yesterday. Like, so good. All about the comfort zone.
Yeah.
And about what we're going to do going forward, involving you guys, involving more of a community vibe.
Whoa.
And I think we're both just very excited.
Like, beyond excited.
Yeah.
There are so many possibilities that I didn't even know were possibilities. And I don't think you're ready. I don't think we're ready. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm actually buzzing. It's going to be so good.
We can't give out any more information now, obviously. We're going to be those people, but just know.
There's things in the works.
There's something to be excited about.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to tell you.
This is, I'm not trying to interject here, but not like a win, but I'm proud of you because, whoa,
me.
Shocker. Because yesterday we went into London and we literally went for a meeting and we had dinner and I don't know, I know that you don't love going into London sometimes, but I feel like we had a good time.
We did. It was quite easy. I mean, there was trouble with the trains on the way home, but it was what it was. And it was fine. And we had a good time.
Realised how violently unfit I am because we were running through the station and I was carrying my bag to stay over at JC's and I was literally like, oh my god, I'm going to either like fall over, collapse, throw up.
Jelly legs.
Yeah, it was...
You had a coughing fit for a good like half an hour after.
I know. As soon as we got on the train, I suddenly needed to cough, and I'm not ill, but I just felt like that person on the train that's just spreading germs, and it was horrible.
Even though you wasn't, you were just probably a little bit of like acid reflux, maybe.
Yeah,
from
my
the
throat
run.
was really tickly. Honestly, it made me think like I need to just start like doing hill sprints or something, just for those moments, but also can't be asked.
For emergency purposes.
Emergency.
But I felt really bad because I didn't have a big bag, obviously, and I was going like, come on, I've got to make it.
I was like, JC, I can't.
And then I took it off of Rowan. I was like, all right, give it here, I've got this. I didn't have it.
It crumbled.
I literally took like 5 steps. I was like, actually, no, it's not worth it.
Crumbled under the weight of my bag.
I did. It was a bit intense, but we made it.
Well, I'm glad you saw from both sides.
Yeah, I did. That was a struggle. But thank you. I'm also proud of you.
Thanks.
Because I know you wore your headphones. If
I
you follow
did.
Ro on Instagram, which I know you do, and if you shouldn't.
If you shouldn't, you should.
And if you don't, you should. Plug.
Thanks, JC. My Instagram is @RoMitchell. Go follow me.
Wow.
Hashtag follow me. Hashtag follow for follow, like for like. Hashtag shout out for shout out.
Wow. But I think you showed a little bit of behind the scenes there of your journey because
I did. I actually kind of forgot that would be a win.
That's
have
huge
been getting
win.
a bit anxioso
No.
So, no, me never. And I get a bit freaked out by wearing my headphones on public transport, but I put them on, I wore them for the whole train ride, and I listened to music, and
Wow.
I couldn't really hear what was going on around me at all. And
You was okay.
I was okay. I made it. I get really scared. I'm very hypervigilant. Like, if I don't hear what's around me, I feel unsafe. So that was a challenge, and I did it.
And you were safe.
Safe and fine.
Yeah, proud of you. Big
Thanks.
wins. Big wins all
wait,
round.
I actually have one more win.
Oh, go on.
My book cover. Today, the
How
day of
can you-
recording, because we recorded, sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say, how can you even forget that?
Well,
You haven't.
I haven't. It's very much on my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, today, the day of recording, it's going to go live on my Instagram tonight, and everyone's going to get to see the cover of my book. I'll put it on the screen.
It's so stunning.
I'm so excited.
The colours, I can't. I actually can't.
I'm literally so excited. Like, I'm trying to not. Like, my arms are just doing this because I'm so excited. I will put the link in the description if you want to pre-order. Kisses.
You
Mwah.
will want to because. One more.
Kisses. Mwah.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. Carry
Everyone,
on.
reject those kisses, please. You don't want them.
I don't have anything. I don't have germs. I promise.
You yesterday would be otherwise.
Anyway, sorry.
Book.
Book.
You're gonna want to pre-order it. That's all I'm saying. I'm so excited. It's actually gonna come around so soon.
I know it's like a couple months now.
So be prepared, guys. Be prepared.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Exciting. I don't want to ruin the hype now with a wobble, but
No, it's wobble time.
it's that time of the week, the time of the episode. My wobble this week has been cramps. Maybe all girls can relate. I think all girls can relate.
Not everyone gets period cramps.
That's true.
Jealous of those that don't. But yeah.
Wish that was me. It's not me. They are waking me up in the night at the moment, and I'm having to like scramble around for some painkillers and my UV. I love my UV. It's such a like
Mouthful to
yeah.
say.
My UV. It's like a little
Tetanus?
tetanus.
Yeah, tetanus. Yep.
I actually thought that's what they were called. A tetanus machine.
Isn't that not a disease?
Yeah, that's
Tens.
tetanus. Isn't that what you get if you touch like rusty metal?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that. It's a TENS machine, and it like shocks you, and like I find that helps me so much.
Yeah.
Like it really does help. So that combined with a little painkiller sorts me out. But yeah, it's been getting to the point where I've literally been waking up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain, like crumbled over, thinking like, do I need to get some serious help here? And then it passes in like half an hour. But like I'll be sweating, I'll be shaking.
So
Sometimes I'll be on the
bad.
bathroom floor. It's not fun. It's not good vibes. Maybe I should go to the doctor. But anyway.
Well, this is whenever I talk about period cramps online, people say to me like, you should go get checked for like PCOS. And I have been checked for PCOS, and I don't have it. I've had like a blood test to check for it, and I don't have it. But I just get excruciating period cramps. But I've looked up like endometriosis, and I don't think I have any of the symptoms apart from the fact I get excruciating period pains.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, it's literally your uterus like ripping itself apart.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But then on social media now, everyone says like, if your periods are painful, then that's not normal and it means something's wrong. But like, does it? I don't know.
Do any gynecologists follow us and want to tell us?
Please.
Do we have something wrong with us?
Please. But so many girls get it, so like, surely it's normal? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's been keeping me awake. So
I'm sorry.
It's
that
okay.
actually sucks.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Just found out women get periods.
Whoa.
Have you seen those memes?
No.
Never.
I feel like I've never seen anything where it's always like, have you seen this TikTok? And I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I will keep my fingers crossed that
Thank
you don't
you.
keep getting cramps.
Thank you. I mean, it's once a month for like 4 days, 3-4 days.
That's
so.
a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and think about your whole life. That's probably like 10% of your life.
Well, in a year, you're having 48 days of excruciating pain. That's a lot.
And I just have to go about my normal life. Well, to be fair, it's in the middle of the night, so when I wake up in the morning, it's actually like fine
Yeah,
by
but then
then.
your sleep's all disrupted and then you feel groggy.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
I get grumpy. Like really grumpy.
Really grumpy.
Like really grumpy. But yeah, not fun, but oh well. It is what it is.
Thank God for the tetanus machine.
Yeah, tetanus machine. Give me some tetanus. Give me some of
Gives
that.
me tetanus, just sorts me right out.
Your wobble.
My wobble, I do have a wobble.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Actually,
That's not good.
I have had a bit of a low moment packed in the last week. Like, just spent a few days really feeling down in the dumps, more down in the dumps than I have in a while, and it just really wasn't fun.
That's makes me actually so sad.
Yeah, well...
You were sad as well.
I was also sad about it because I was feeling sad. Yeah, no, it was just like a fun reminder that my brain gets prone to depression.
Oh no.
And I was like, yeah, this is great.
I bet you weren't thinking that in the moment, but...
No, that was very much sarcastic. I was not vibing.
No.
But I've been vibing the past few days. I've been having a great time.
And you've got through it.
Yeah.
So it's a reminder that you always come out the other side.
Yeah.
But also when you're in it, it can probably feel like it's all consuming.
Oh, fully. And the other thing is, like, it's really hard when you feel really depressed to tell yourself, yeah, well, I felt like this before and I felt better afterwards, because you always just think, I felt like this before. I'm always going to come back to feeling like this. But even a few days on, I'm really glad that just passed, because even though I'm like, yeah, I might get depressed again, the time in between is so good and, like, so worth holding on for.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're really down, it can just feel like I'm always going to come back to feeling like shit. So, like, what's the point? But the point is that you have so much time in between.
Yeah, and when you're down, you kind of forget about that. You kind of forget the months, 6 months, 12 months that you've had that were really great. Or even a week, 2 weeks. That outweighs the few days of feeling low.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that for everyone, obviously. Obviously, it can be a lot longer periods of depression.
Yeah.
But there is always light at the end of the tunnel, even when it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Even when I think about, like, the fact that I used to be so severely depressed, and that lasted for so long, like months and months and months, and I thought there's no way out, and then everything got better, and then sometimes when I feel really low again, I'm like, see, this is how I used to feel. I'll always feel like this. But that lasted like 2 days.
Yeah.
It used to be months and months of that. So that's just evidence to me that things get better and that it's worth holding on.
My heart.
We love you.
We do. And I'm very proud of you for getting through it and
Thanks.
reminding yourself how strong you are. And I'm also just really sorry that you went through that, because it is just shit, and it's okay for it to just be... Oh, sorry, bleep my swear word there. It's okay for it to just be bad and there be no, like, reasoning for it, and no... Think of the positives, think of the bigger picture. Like, if things suck, but it won't be like that forever.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Proud of you.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Anyway.
When you drink, does your little finger come up? Yeah, same. And apparently that's, like, posh.
Is that a British thing?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not posh. I'll tell you that. But I always do.
Yeah.
I don't mean to.
No, my little finger just comes up. Even when I'm getting my nails done, my little finger just goes in the air.
My fingers are...
help it.
Yeah, I think they're double jointed.
Does your little finger do that? No. Oh my god. No.
You need to be watching this right now to understand. You can't do that. I can only do it with these two.
JC, that's so scary. That's great.
Which
Whoa.
it just folds in half.
Do you have any joints?
I don't know. That looks so funny.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Anyway, that's enough.
That's enough of that.
That's enough. Welcome to an episode all about questions.
All about questions.
Yes, we did a little fun Q&A.
We
Was
did.
it fun? I'm trying to think if there was any like deep questions. I think it was a mix.
You guys can be the judge of that.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll hand you over to a more put together,
Yeah,
on it version of ourselves.
enjoy. Hello and welcome back to us in the studio, in the comfort zone. Pretty sure you just heard from past us, giving you an insight into our wins and wobbles.
Past us? Is it future us or is it past us?
It is future us.
I guess.
Do you know what? Why don't we just exist?
Yeah.
In every
Time's a construct.
Exactly. We're in time and space, and this is all one. And
Wow.
I'm intellectual. What can I say?
It's a good episode already.
She's got a uni degree.
Can't relate, babes. But we're going to get into that sort of thing today.
That's true.
In our Big Sister Advice episode, our episode where we're going to be answering your questions, the questions that you're scared to ask anyone, because there is no judgment here. In the comfort zone, everything is safe and okay, and we will listen and we will never judge. And so we have asked you for your questions. You provided. We obviously can't answer them all, but we have chosen some of them which we think will hopefully relate to a lot of people. And yeah, the aim of today is to make you feel less alone and to give you some as I said, big sister advice from girlies that have been through it.
And are still going through it and still learning every single damn day.
Yep, and still making mistakes and still tripping up and still figuring things out because
that's life.
Yeah, we're messy and we're human.
I'm too messy.
I'm too freaking clean.
I just also wanted to make space for our outfits right now because the colours, orange, yellow, blue, pink, green. It's giving summer, it's giving spring, it's giving good vibes, it's giving positivity. I just look at the screen right now and I just see everything that I love in one place.
Yeah.
And it's making me feel so happy.
Yeah, I feel the spring vibes and I am so happy about it.
Adorable. Anyway.
Should we get into our first question?
Let's do it. Straight into it. I love it.
The first question is, will girls stop being so mean when we get out of high school?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just don't interact with them, then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
My first instinct was to say, yeah, they do. To be honest, I don't have that many experience with girls and friends now to say 100% if they do stop being mean. My sister has been through a lot of girl rubbish and she's in her early 20s. And honestly, it's worse than when I was at school. Like, the girls now are so mean. So it's a tricky one because I would like to say that they do, and I would like to think that girls mature and we're not in environments where we're around each other 24/7 and conflict and comparison, and you do grow out of it. I mean, I feel like I've grown out of it. I know I was probably a little bit of a bitch at school sometimes.
You kind of had to be to survive in a way. Like, there was just a natural level of bitchiness and unkindness that happened amongst girls, and if you didn't join in with it, then you'd probably be the one that got picked on, and that's why people were so mean. But I feel like there's part of me that's like, once a mean girl, always a mean girl. Like, the people that inherently like just had fun being mean, that probably won't change, but you're not going to choose to surround yourself with them. So even if they don't get less mean, it's not going to impact your life because you won't be seeing them every day.
Exactly. As soon as you leave high school, that's it. They're gone out of your life.
You could not pay me any amount of money to go back to school and to do secondary school all over again. Oh my actual goodness, like, it was the worst.
I feel like it's so different for girls because I've had this conversation with my boyfriend before and he's like, I'd do anything to go back to school for a day.
Boys are like, I was just chilling with my friends all day. I'm like, I was in the pits.
Yeah, literally. In the last year of secondary school, I sat in the library in every break, every lunch, before school, after school, because I was like, the girls in my class are just mean.
I was so scared to just exist because people were just horrible, and no matter what happened, I always managed to be someone that got picked on. Like, no matter what, and even if it wasn't being picked on for like my looks or anything, it was being pushed out, being excluded, being made to feel annoying or just like crap about myself, really. And every single girl group I got in, that happened. And so I just went, it's a me problem, and I just was so insecure. And even though now I look back, I'm like, well, it wasn't your problem at all. Like, you ended up finding friends who have stuck by you and who understand you and don't think you're too much or too anything or not enough of anything. But when you're going through school, the mean girls literally dominate your life. It's actually terrifying, and I wish that high school culture would change, but
I don't think it's going to. I mean, as you're growing up and as your body's changing and your hormones are changing, like, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn how to navigate friendships and conversations, and navigating them by being mean is not right, but it's part of growing up, I guess. And it's just a crap thing to deal with. I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of gone through it in some way. I try and think back and think about the popular girls in my year and think, were they ever bullied at some point, or were they ever made to feel like crap? But they probably were, just in different ways, or it always ebbs and flows, doesn't it? Like, one time one girl's been outcasted and the next week she's in and she's the leader of the group, and then another one's been pushed out. It just is how it is, and it's just not really fair. But at the same time, we need to make a difference as well.
The way the socials, that was making me think about how insane it is that that's all really normal in school. Like, having a leader, a popular girl, someone that's just allowed to be mean to other people, and then other people being scared of them. That just does not exist outside of secondary school. You do get like toxic workplaces, and you do get toxics? What did I just say?
I think you said it right.
Okay.
Back yourself.
Okay, I'm having confidence. You do get toxic workplaces. You do get groups of friends that, will have arguments when you're older. But that level of pettiness and that culture that exists within secondary school or high school, that does not exist. Even in college, I don't think.
No, neither.
I haven't heard from anyone that went to college that is a thing.
Yeah.
So, it's the most horrible thing when you're in it because it is all consuming. You spend so much time at school and you constantly feel like you need to be hypervigilant so that you don't get picked on. But that does all end, and you look back and you're like, that was a terrible time, but it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, I think it's also, you just have to understand that it always comes from a place of insecurity from the person that's being mean. It's not a personal attack 99.9% of the time. If they're picking on you for your hair, it's because they're insecure of their own hair. And like, they just want to make themselves feel better, and the only way they know how to do that is by bringing someone else down. So yeah, it is sad, but you have to be really strong and confident in yourself and know that it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. Yeah, it's not fair that they're taking it out on you, but
you don't need to change yourself, and you don't need to like turn it in on yourself and think, what have I done wrong? That's where I really struggled at school. I did do that. I was like, yeah, what have I done wrong? What is it about me that makes people react to me in this way? And I would make myself quieter, and I'd convince myself I was annoying, and I would exclude myself, or not exclude myself, but avoid people. And I tried to make myself smaller to please other people. And now I look back and I'm like, actually, none of that was my fault. Like, people just were insecure, were going through things. Maybe stuff was happening at home, and I was somewhat of an easy target, probably.
Yeah, it's weird because you don't want to excuse their behaviour, but also it's just coming from a place of understanding and putting yourself first. Like, why are you trying to please the mean girls that make you feel like crap and you don't actually want to be friends with?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, losing their friendship, well, it's not even friendship, is it? It's just like this whole fake thing. It doesn't matter, because as soon as you leave high school, you're never going to want to talk to them again. Yeah, it could make life easier, but I don't know. It's a tricky one. Girls are just mean. but some of them aren't.
Some of them aren't. And if they don't get less mean, then you just don't have to interact with them. That's the beautiful thing about becoming an adult. You're not forced to be in those kinds of spaces. So they won't bother you anymore.
No, and it can feel like high school literally lasts forever. Feels weird saying high school. Secondary school.
Yeah. Was it senior school or secondary school for you?
Secondary. Did you say senior?
We said senior sometimes.
Ooh, no. That's so American.
Infant, junior,
secondary,
senior. Oh no, I would also call it secondary school. I think I just went between the two, but it was never high school.
No, never high school.
No.
But yeah, it can feel like it's going to last forever, and it really doesn't. Like, it's such a small percentage of your life, and you will get through it, and you will feel the freedom of putting your pen down on the last exam and getting out of there. Just stick it out. Question number 2. Do you ever get all the physical symptoms of anxiety without actually feeling mentally anxious?
I am very intrigued by this question because it's like an exact description of what I have experienced in recent weeks.
Interesting, because I'm reading the question right now and I'm thinking, I don't know what that means.
Physical anxiety in my body shows up as like, sometimes it's just like this feeling of tenseness, and I don't even really realize it. I just feel kind of claustrophobic, kind of scared, but I have no idea why. And until I realize that I'm feeling that way, I just feel tense and agitated and like, ooh, like really just like bottled up and like I'm about to pop.
Like, if one thing was to happen, it would push you over the edge and you're just going to explode.
And I'll just panic. Yeah. And I mean, my heart might be beating quite fast. I might feel a bit shaky. I might feel a bit weak. I might get a bit lightheaded. Like, I have actually been getting anxiety in my body. And then when I've gone, I can tell that my body feels anxious. What's making me anxious, so that I can try and like calm myself down? There's nothing there. And it's like, what, I have no reason to feel anxious right now. Like, what's going on? But then sometimes when I deep that, I spiral and it gets worse because I'm like,
trying to figure it out.
It feels like there's just a bad vibe and there's just a bad omen. Like, sometimes there are different things that can just make your body stressed. Something I actually have been doing when I've been feeling like that is yoga, because it makes me just connect back into my body. It actually forces me to, because I would struggle to sit still and meditate, but if you can do like a yoga meditation, I'll link one in the description that I've used, it kind of gives you that like something to focus on without it just being, I'm focusing on trying to not feel anxious. It's like focusing on moving your body and breathing and calming down. And when I'm not able to figure out why I'm anxious and calm myself down mentally, sometimes you do just have to like engage with the physical symptoms and try and calm them down. But yeah, I do. That was the question, wasn't it? Do you ever get it? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so you're not alone. I'm trying to think if I do as well. Sometimes I feel myself just snapping at random things, but I don't know if that's anxiety. That's more probably just like hormones. But I know when I'm hangry, and I know when I'm hormonal, because I'm just a horrible person to be around.
I'm surprised that you don't get anxiety in your body when you drink like 8 coffees a day.
Yeah, that's true. I think I've just slowly become so used to it, which is not a good thing. But sometimes if I have a really strong coffee, I do get the shakes. But that's...
Do you feel a little bit like jittery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's more like I feel a bit sick. But then that's like physical anxiety that I've brought on by an like material substance. It's not just subconscious. It's actually caused by caffeine.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's that butterflies feeling, isn't it? But normally I always do have a reason for it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it is something I've been experiencing recently, but
It's normal, I guess. Yeah.
It is normal, yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess try not to deep it, because sometimes that makes it worse.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just accept that this is happening right now. It will pass like it has before.
Mm-hmm.
It will pass again.
It always passes. Next question?
Let's do it.
Okay, next question is, how do you know when it's time for someone to leave your life?
Dun dun dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's a deep question. I mean, if you're even getting to the point where you're considering whether your life would be better off without this person, you should probably sit down and write a little pros and cons list and think, why am I having these thoughts? Why do I feel so negative around them? Is it fixable? Is it not fixable? Can you confront them? Do you think that will help, or do you think that will make things worse? I guess for me, I've cut people out of my life before, and I would say when you kind of get anxious about seeing them, or you feel yourself making excuses for seeing them, or you kind of worry about what you're saying around them, you kind of feel on edge, like you're walking on eggshells, that's where you get to the point where you have to think, is this friendship, relationship, whatever, is this really serving me anymore?
Yeah.
Not that everyone needs to add this crazy amount of value to your life. Like, people can just be in your life because they're people. Do you know
Because
what
you
I mean?
like being, but that's,
Yeah.
I mean, liking being around them is the main thing. If you're coming away being drained.
Yeah. But then that also doesn't mean that you have to cut them out fully. Like, you don't have to be like, I'm never going to speak to them again because I feel uncomfortable around them. But also you just have to put that distance in place.
Yeah.
And then maybe things will get better over time because that person realises that they miss having you in their life, and they're going to make more of an effort, and they're going to change how they make you feel. But to do that, you do need some sort of distance or confrontation.
There are also friends who are just meet up for coffee once a month friends. And
I
then
saw
there's
that on
friends
TikTok.
Did I see this on TikTok? And I just thought it was an original idea that I just had.
Credit to your
Story of
brain.
my life.
It was like, I have a realisation that I'm the coffee friend, or like, I don't want to be the coffee friend.
Have I seen? I feel like I have seen that. But I think I was also talking to my friend about it, but it probably came
It's a
from
real
TikTok.
thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Subconscious.
But I do, and also the kind of, have you seen that graph that's about like closeness over time? Like the way people aren't meant to be in your life forever. Some people are just
Yeah.
meant to be in your life for parts of your life. Some people are they're just meant to be there at the time that you need them.
And teach you a lesson or give you space to be yourself, or to speak about something that you can't speak with anyone else.
Yeah.
Quote of the ep. Are you ready? This is me about to butcher this quote. Here for a reason, here for a season, here for...
Why is it a poem? Here for a season. Here for a reason.
I'm going to have to Google it because I don't know how the full quote goes.
Okay, well, that was great. People always come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. When you figure out which it is, you know exactly what to do. Is that the quote?
That is the quote, but when you read it out to me there, it just sounded like words.
Reason, season, lifetime.
So yeah, just put it into context of your life. Are they there for a reason? For example, you're at school and they're just there for... No, that's not reason, that would be season. Season is like eras of your life. So like your
Yeah.
school, your college, university,
Jobs,
work.
yeah.
Yeah, like they're here for a certain time frame. Reason could be like they're a family friend, or
They're a therapist.
or a colleague. Like they're here for a reason to serve that purpose. For a lifetime would be even, I don't know, it's so hard because I'd say like someone you've grown up with, but you can cut those off as well if they're not serving you anymore, because you can grow into different people.
Can you imagine still being friends with this person when you're like 50, 60?
Yeah, and then that might be a good time to think, no, I can't stand them, I'm going to cut them out.
I do just feel like the whole pros and cons thing that you were saying is so true, because there are some times where it's like, okay, I am going through something in my life and I'm feeling irrationally angry at this person. You don't want to cut them straight out of your life because it might not be fair.
There's me just being so harsh here, like...
No, you weren't.
Cut them out.
You weren't. You literally said you don't have to cut them out.
Yeah.
No, you weren't.
Thank you.
Sometimes there are so many pros to a relationship or a friendship that it is really not worth it. And if you are thinking like, would my life be better off without this person, and that doesn't immediately make you go like, oh, I would miss them so much, or oh, like that would be really sad, maybe you shouldn't give your energy to them and your time to them, because you're clearly not really enjoying it, and it's probably going to fizzle out at some point.
Yeah.
So I think, how do you know when it's time for someone to leave your life? Asking yourself that question, probably.
But then you can also miss people that don't serve you anymore, even if you're like, you can grieve an old version of them that just doesn't exist anymore, but it's still sad.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
And that is really difficult as well. I think, and probably that's what keeps a lot of people in relationships, and even abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships where they're not being treated well. It's because you remember who that person was, and you remember what they were like, and that's what you hold on to, because you think maybe one day they'll get back to that. But you can't wait around and give your precious time and your energy to someone who is beating you down or is making you feel worse about yourself. Like, you can't wait around for someone to find their way back to the good version of themselves. And I'm not talking about if someone's, ill. I'm talking
Yeah.
about if they're being horrible or if they're making your life worse. So obviously if someone's struggling and they can't give you 100% energy or be like happy and bubbly, I'm not being like, get rid of them. But if someone's being horrible to you and making you feel rubbish, and you're holding on to the idea of who they used to be, like, you can't stay in a relationship because of the idea of what somebody was.
And it's going to be hard for the first few months of cutting them out, but I think you have your whole future ahead of you. You're going to live a whole life of misery if you stay with that person.
Yeah.
So go through the pain, get out the other side.
And you will find someone who has all of the good bits that you miss, all of the best bits, the bits that made you feel really happy, the bits that are the thing that you're holding on to that has changed. There will be somebody who has all of those parts, and they stay, and they are consistent.
And make you feel great.
Yeah, and that person is out there. But
Yeah.
you do not deserve to be with someone who has potential.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, in every single scenario, you come first.
Yep.
Like, your happiness and your life and you just come before anyone else. And that's not being selfish. That's just, you're in your head, you're in your body. You can't live a life of misery just to make someone else happy.
Even, the whole, this is a bit random, but the whole like stay together for the kids thing, where it's like parents stay miserable because they want to stay together so that their kids are happy. The kids often end up more unhappy because they're watching their parents be unhappy, and then that plays out in their parents being unkind to them. And I feel like that translates to so many relationships in your life. Like, if you're forcing yourself to be in uncomfortable situations for the greater good of other people, you're probably going to inadvertently hurt or damage those relationships anyway, because you're not going to be happy and you're not going to be yourself, and you can't be your best, happiest self and give to the world what you want to give when you're not prioritising your own needs.
Beautiful.
Spoken word. Another question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit me. Question number, I've lost count, so I don't know what question this is. I feel left out in my trio, but I love them. I don't know what to do. Breaks my heart.
Yeah, my heart also broke a little bit when I read this. Partly because I know what it feels like.
Trios are so tricky. Tricky trios, let's name them that. There's a whole stigma around threes just don't work. And I don't really know why. I mean, I was always in big groups, so there was a lot more than 3 of us. There was probably like 8 to 10 of us. So I've never really experienced the trio, being the odd one out in the trio, but if you have, please enlighten us all.
I have, and I think especially if you are someone who is a very sensitive person, especially if you are someone who is quite hypersensitive to changes in people's body language, and if you're always looking for signs that people are annoyed at you or don't like you, or you're always, if you're someone that's always checking, trios are like hell, because the second you see them having fun without you,
you think that they hate you.
You literally go into your head, well, maybe not everyone does this, but I remember when I was in like trios when I was younger, I'd get into my head and I'd be like, they're fine without me. Whenever they're alone, they're going to be talking about how boring I am, how they don't even want me in the trio, how they wish they could just be alone. Like, I think because in a trio, as soon as 2 people get together and one person's even slightly left out, it just becomes so exclusive, exclusionary.
Yeah, because there's no one else to to speak to about how you feel.
You've not got anyone else to give you the same attention that other person's getting. And trios work really nicely when everyone's on the same wavelength, on the same page, and everyone's bringing the same energy. But if you're having a down day and the other 2 people are like really buzzing and upbeat, you just feel like you're like letting the team down. You feel like you're a dead weight. And I feel like trios are really difficult for that reason. I'm not saying never be in a friendship trio, because it does work for some people,
but it's just hard.
But it is hard, and I do think, especially if you're more of a sensitive soul, you are probably going to look into things more and be thinking that people are talking about you and stuff.
If you don't have any evidence, like actual evidence, if no one has said anything to you, you can pick up on actions and you can read into things, but you're probably making it a lot worse in your head than it is, because you don't have anyone to like rationalise your thoughts. You only have yourself. So for all you know, they could be sitting there without you when you're busy or you're not feeling great, and they're thinking about how much they miss you, or they're talking about, oh, I wish so-and-so was here right now. Like, we really miss their company and they really add value to us. You don't know that they're thinking anything different than that. You don't know that they're sat there really happy that you're not there. Like, no, unless there's no tangible evidence, it can be really hard to trick your brain into thinking that people are missing you, because we always think that people are just thinking negatively about us. Always, always, always.
But what's the sign from that? If you're in a trio, send your friends that aren't there, or, well, the one friend. Otherwise you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Tell them that you missed having them there.
Yeah.
Tell them that you really want to get a date in where all three of you are together.
Why have we become so scared of just telling our friends how we feel and telling people that we care about them?
I know.
Like, why is that now, like, cringe and just, like, weird?
Every time I go home from here,
Yeah.
I message you and I'm like, had such a lovely weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you always make me feel so welcome, thank you. And
Yeah.
you'll say something really nice as well. And
It gives you that sense of, like, you don't have to worry, because we can pick up on so many things that, like, you were worried that you upset me yesterday because my cup was dirty.
okay.
Let's open up here.
I people pleased too close to the sun, and JC saw right through it.
It was hilarious.
I was getting myself a glass of Coke, right? But I went to the cupboard and the glasses had all of that. You know when, like, glasses come out of the dishwasher and it's like silt? It's like grain, little bits of,
like, crumbs.
specks of, like, crumb.
Yeah.
Just all stuck to the glass. And I get so funny about what I drink out of. Like, so funny to the point where
You won't drink.
I won't drink if there's not, like, in a restaurant,
Yeah.
I will always have a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero or a can of something, because I'd rather drink out of the can than drink out of a glass that's come out of their dishwasher.
Because you don't know how clean it is.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
But, I mean, okay. And then JC came in. Bear in mind, a couple weeks ago, I was like, I really hate when we drink Coke out of mugs because it feels really weird and I don't like it. And then I'm drinking Coke out of a mug and JC's like, oh, you're drinking it out of a mug? Like, why are you doing that? And she went in and I looked at her and
Please don't open the cupboard.
I literally looked at you and I went, I just wanted to drink it out of a mug.
I really like it.
And you literally went straight to the cupboard and went, is it because all the glasses are dirty? And I was like, oh. Because in my head, I was like, okay, I have three options here.
Yeah.
I either go, JC, your glasses are dirty.
Which, fine. You can say that to me.
Or I start washing them up.
Which is also
Which
fine.
is awful. Like, you come out of the room and I'm just, like, doing the washing up because I'm like, ew, you're dirty. Which you're not. Glasses always come out of the dishwasher like that. Or I'm, like, putting them all in the dishwasher and then, like, I would
so
rather have just
funny.
not said anything because I didn't. And I never feel awkward around you. I know you wouldn't be mad at me, but
it's just like an uncomfortable situation. Like,
I just didn't want to be like,
yeah.
By the way, all your glasses are, like, dirty. That's just not a very nice thing to say in someone's house, is it?
I literally wouldn't care at all. I just found it hilarious because I was like, I literally know you don't like drinking Coke out of a mug. So you're sat there going, I love drinking Coke out of a mug.
I literally, that was such bull. Like, I literally looked at you and said, I wanted to drink it out of a mug. And you were like, no,
Are you sure,
you
hon?
didn't.
Are you sure? But where were we going with that? I just had to get that off our chest because it was the funniest thing that's happened.
What were we talking about? Telling people how you feel? Is that it?
I have no clue.
What we were like, why do we not just tell people how we feel?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say, because we didn't, like, have that open conversation, or I didn't tell you, like, I literally don't care, like, you can say whatever you want, you can call me a dirty pig, I don't mind.
Dirty peg.
But, like, we have that open conversation, and, like, at the end of it, I can say, look, I don't mind. You're more than welcome to do whatever you want in my house. Like, you're welcome here. I just want to make you feel happy and comfortable, and I'm grateful that you're here, and blah, blah, blah. I can say that to you and you can now feel reassured. But if we didn't have that conversation and I was like, oh, okay, interesting, you would go home tomorrow and think, oh, I hope I didn't offend her and I shouldn't have said that thing and what if she hates me now? But, like, if you give the person that reassurance, it just takes all of that worry out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes life so much easier, so much happier.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we do that more?
Always be thinking about the underdog in your trio because they might be anxious, and even if they're not and they don't need reassurance,
give it to them anyway.
It's always nice to hear it. It's always nice to hear that you're missed or you're appreciated, or
like, it's never weird and it will never come across like it will never be unwanted. You're always going to want to feel validated.
Yeah.
So shout out to
let's just tell people how we feel more.
Yeah. I feel happy.
I feel excited. What you were just saying there reminded me of one of the questions that I've screenshotted, and so I thought we could move on to that. The question is it annoying to ask for reassurance from my friends?
Ooh, yes and no.
I mean, we just kind of went into this.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal to want reassurance.
It's human.
yeah, your anxiety is 99% of the time lying to you, but it's also okay to, for me, the way anxiety works a lot of the time is if I don't have a fact to negate my anxious thought, I can't overcome it.
Yeah.
It can be really hard to convince yourself that your thoughts are lying to you. Like, I totally get it. I totally understand wanting that solid reassurance. So, first of all, you're not like weird or needy or annoying for wanting the reassurance.
No, imagine how sad life would be if we just all stayed in our own shells and didn't speak to anyone else and had no connection or no reassurance. Like,
But sometimes
it's
I feel like
human
things are
nature.
going that way because it's like people think it's cringy or weird to like just love your friends.
Yeah, which drives me crazy.
Respect.
Yeah, respect that.
I don't know. The whole is it annoying thing. I think if you're being totally honest, if someone is constantly asking you for reassurance and constantly saying, oh, I'm really sorry, you're probably really annoyed at me.
Even when you've kind of given them some reassurance anyway.
Yeah. Like, I know that I used to do that, okay?
Yeah.
Confession. I used to do that. People told me I was annoying. People would straight up be like, it's really annoying that you keep apologising and then apologising for being annoying.
I feel like it can be hard to hear that. Like, I bet you when someone said that to you was heartbroken.
Oh, yeah, that just confirmed everything I believed about myself. I was like, oh, so I am annoying.
But they were trying to help you, actually, and make you less annoying.
Yeah.
So.
Which is really funny. Like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But
anyway,
I would never be annoyed if my friends needed reassurance from me. I do think there is a level where I'm saying this as like I used to be the person doing it. I'm not saying it as like I get annoyed with people. This used to be me. There is a level where it's like it's overriding things now because I don't feel like we can have a normal conversation because anything I say you're probably going to think you're going to take it the wrong way or you're going to be thinking about everything you're saying so as not to offend me. And at that point, yes, being brutally honest, it probably is annoying for the other person. That doesn't mean that you are inherently a bad person or broken or anything. It just means that you need to work on having confidence in yourself and knowing that people like you and people want to spend time with you. And if somebody, I think the main thing here is if somebody has a problem with you, it is their responsibility to tell you.
Yeah.
You do not need to be second guessing everyone's actions, checking constantly, checking the vibe, checking the body language, making sure that you're not annoying. Because if there's something wrong, people will tell you. And if you're that like tuned to it, you will definitely know if something's wrong. Think about all of the times that you've thought someone might be a bit annoyed with you and you've got the vibe completely wrong. Because
most of the time.
Yeah, because your kind of sensitivity to it is so heightened. So now imagine if they actually were acting annoyed, you would 100% know.
Yeah.
Like there's no way you wouldn't know, but you tell yourself that, oh, I would have no idea if they were, you would know.
Yeah.
You would 100% know. So I think it, like being brutally honest, it probably does get annoying to people, and I know I used to. I know that because I used to be told that I was annoying for doing it.
If it's excessive, like you're more than welcome to do it in the odd scenario. I was gonna say like once a week.
Yeah.
You don't need to have like a tick off.
A quota.
Yeah, quota that you can fill up, but like
I think a big part of it is just learning to trust yourself and have confidence in the fact that people don't hate you.
They want to be with you. They're agreeing to meet up with you because they want to spend time with you. They wouldn't agree to meet up with you if they were going to be annoyed the whole time because that's a waste of their time as well. Like it's a mutual thing. If you're friends and you're going out together and you're doing all this stuff together, you like each other. So they're most likely not annoyed by your presence. And if they were, they'll tell you.
If someone's replied to your text and said yes, they want to meet up, they want to meet up.
Yeah. Don't try and read into it and think they haven't put a full stop or they haven't put a kiss, so actually they don't want to meet up and they're just lying to me. Like, no.
Yeah, maybe they're just emptying the dishwasher and they don't have
Yeah.
loads of time to text. But also,
or they're driving and they don't put an emoji. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I go, hey Siri, send a message, like it comes out so blunt, and then I do worry. I'm like, does that come across right? Like that's come off so wrong. But like, what else am I meant to do? I'm not going to go on my phone on the motorway, am I?
Well, sometimes you just she says kiss kiss, and then the end of the text just says kiss kiss.
I mean, thank you Siri, you got my back.
It's so funny. Just to be real, I still ask for reassurance sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't think I do it excessively. I do think I now ask for reassurance at times where
it's like actually you need it.
Yeah.
You're not just saying it for the sake of it. Like you actually you're struggling quite a lot, and this would really help you.
Like even not that I was really struggling with it, but the glass thing.
Yeah.
I said to you, didn't I? I was like,
Yeah.
I really hope you don't think that I'm rude because it's not about you being dirty. And we just had a conversation about it, and you were like, no, like
don't be silly.
I know that you just get funny about what you drink out of, and that's so fine. And also, you were like,
I wouldn't. There's no way in hell I would have drunk out of that cup. I would have literally been drinking like breadcrumbs.
We had that conversation, and that was fine. Like
exactly.
It could, as you said earlier, it could have been awkward if you'd have been like, okay.
Yeah, and just moved on and been like, right.
But we just had an open conversation, and you will find people who you don't feel like you need to seek reassurance from 24/7. Like sometimes as well, if you're in a friendship where you are feeling like you constantly need to seek reassurance, and I would say only really like pay attention to this if you also have other friendships where you don't feel the need, because if you feel the need in all of them, then it might be a confidence thing with yourself. But if there's only certain friendships where you feel really like, oh my god, do they hate me, going back to cutting people out of your life, I'm not saying cut them out, but maybe take a look at that friendship and think, what is it that they do and what energy do they give me that is getting me all in my head and making me anxious that they don't like me? Because there's got to be something there if it's not happening with other people.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
I like that. Good advice.
nice.
We're so good at our jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Unqualified therapists.
Next question. How did you accept that you couldn't do education like everyone else?
I feel like this is obviously aimed at me because you did do education like everyone else pretty much.
I did. I did my GCSEs. Instead of A-levels, I went to college, but that's pretty normal. Then I went to university.
What do you mean you went to college? Isn't that where you do A-levels?
I didn't do A-levels, though. I did a BTEC.
Oh.
Extended diploma.
I see what you mean. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but people do A-levels at college. I got a little bit confused there.
No, that's because A-levels you have to do 3 separate subjects still, which is a lot of work.
I was thinking about taking 4.
Are you okay?
Before I was like tremendously not well and
Yeah.
couldn't do them, I was like, I'm going to do 4.
I would
Girl.
have hated my life if I did A-levels.
Oh, so would I. Well,
Yeah.
I tried to do A-levels. Didn't go very well for me.
No.
So that's what we're getting into.
Yeah.
It was a big, fat, difficult process for me to accept that I wasn't going to do education like everyone else. For a bit of context, if you are new here or if you don't know about my journey, I got ill with anorexia when I was 14 or 15.
That's young.
Yeah. And I couldn't focus on school at all. I didn't attend many of my lessons. I had gone from being there pretty much every day. Like I think I nearly had 100% attendance because I didn't even get ill very much. I went from being so like on it and really what we spoke about in the perfectionism episode, like really wanting to do everything right, like impress my teachers, all of that. I went from that to being someone who couldn't focus, was genuinely falling asleep in lessons, just couldn't function, couldn't do it. And I actually got admitted to hospital on the afternoon of my geography GCSE.
Really?
So I did my GCSE in the morning,
Yeah.
but was like not well, and then did the rest of my GCSEs while I was in hospital. So I obviously did not sit my exams in the normal way that other people did. I didn't get the results that I was predicted. In some subjects I actually did okay. Actually, English was my best subject. And
Love that.
when I was in the exam, this is such a tangent, but when I was in the exam, I literally wrote about, I can't remember what the prompt was that year for the creative writing bit.
You were the year below me. So I can tell you. Not that I remember anyway, but it would have been different.
Yeah, I think it was write a story about something, maybe about a big change or something. And I basically wrote about a family finding out their daughter had anorexia because that was the only thing on my mind at that point because I was literally in hospital for
That's all
anorexia.
you could have written about.
Yeah. And I ended up getting the highest grade that I could.
Wow.
In English.
Wow.
I mean, I've always loved writing.
Yeah.
And creative writing and everything, but that was the only grade that I got that was really good. The rest of them I kind of scraped through.
Yeah.
And to be honest, probably only scraped through because I think I will have got special consideration or whatever from the exam board.
Which I would bloody well hope so because
Yeah.
the situation that you were in was not
ideal.
a good time, no.
But yeah, so I had always been someone that was like, I'm going to get my GCSEs, get my A-levels, go to uni, start my career. Nope, it didn't happen. I tried to do my A-levels. I think I was a year late. I tried to do my A-levels.
Yeah.
Just couldn't function. Spoke with my head of sixth. Decided that I was going to try again the next year. I was probably 2 or 3 years behind at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sat in a class of people that when I was in year 11 were like year 8. And I was looking around.
That's such a wild experience and concept to me.
It was so weird, especially trying to feel like I was that age.
Yeah, because like they would be your peers and your friends. So obviously their mental age is a lot younger than yours, but you have to adapt to them and like still stay in all the high school drama, like we said, and still like try and be liked by people that yeah, it's weird.
I didn't really make friends with anyone at sixth form, to be honest. I spent most of my time in my head of sixth's office or in the pastoral bit because I actually found it really, really difficult to sit in classrooms because I felt really trapped, and I was really it was before I'd done EMDR, and I really struggled back then to have people sat behind me. Like if I didn't have my back to a wall, I just felt permanently unsafe, so I couldn't even focus on what was going on in the exams, in the classes anyway. And my teachers were absolutely amazing. Like my psychology teacher, I remember her printing off a picture of B, my dog, and putting it in front of the door by the classroom, so that when I was looking at the door I would see B and like calm down. Like they were honestly incredible. I loved everyone at my sixth form, and that in some ways made me feel worse when I didn't do my A levels, because I was like, you've all put so much work in and my brain has just not got it. And by the time, like now potentially I could do them, but there's no way I can get the funding now. Like I'm too old.
Low-key pointless. I mean, obviously it's necessary for some careers, like, but also once you leave school, a lot of people don't ask for your grades and your. Well, that's me being really naive actually, because you do need them to get into university. Like, say you want to be a doctor, obviously you need your A levels. Like,
yeah, but
in the grand scheme of things, they're not as important as we're taught that they are.
They literally tell you at school that like if you get one detention, you're probably going to end up in prison and like your life will be ruined. Nothing's that deep. Like when you get older, you can always find a way, and that's what I've learned. I have found my way, and obviously I've fallen into something very rogue, and most people are not going to randomly start posting on social media and randomly start a podcast and all of that.
Yeah.
But you will find a way. You can do an access course.
Yeah.
Like if I wasn't doing social media right now, I would be doing an access course. I would be becoming a mental health nurse, and I would be helping people. That's what I like to think I'd be doing.
Yeah.
I obviously have no idea what my life would be like, but that's, I imagine, the route I would go down, and that would be fine. Like I have a lot of friends who I met in hospital or who have also been unwell, who struggled to get through education, and they've gone on to do an access course, and they've gone on to uni or gone on to get a really good job. Like you don't have to do education like everyone else in your year. It doesn't mean you failed. It really doesn't mean you failed. Like if you're looking around at people your age and you're thinking, oh, they're all going to have so much better of a life because I've just like messed everything up, you haven't. There's always time. People go to uni at like 60.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no time limits, and you know what? You might have chosen something that you decided was your career at like 16, 17, and you could get to 25 and be like, why the hell did I choose this? I absolutely hate it. And then you have to start again anyway.
That's so true. Like
Gracie Abrams over here.
That's so true.
That's so true. Like,
what was I gonna say?
she's a sleepy girl today.
I am. I don't know why.
Wakey, wakey. I know why you're sleepy.
Why?
Because you had mice in your balls at 3 a.m.
That's actually true. We barely actually got any good quality sleep last night.
Yeah, me and JC met up in the bathroom at 3 a.m.
I was like, did you hear that? You didn't, but I think you did.
No, it must have woken me. We didn't randomly wake up at the same time.
I think I'd been awake for like 10 minutes and I heard you coming down the ladder. I was like, right.
I'd been awake for about 10, 15 as well,
really?
because my nose was running and I was like, I can't be asked to go get a tissue.
But then you did.
But
And
then
I'm
I
glad
did.
you did, because we had a nice little 3 a.m. meet-up.
Yeah.
And we went to listen to what we presume is mice. And then we went to bed.
Yep.
I don't know why. I have this vision that it's a flying squirrel or a raccoon. And you you keep looking at me like you are out of your mind.
Maybe this is why I had that dream that you lived in South Africa and had like 1 billion animals in your house.
There you go, because we do somehow. I live in like a barn, and I don't know how it's built, but there is a hole in the wall by our head, in our bedroom, by our head. Yes, great. There's a hole. Well, the wall is hollow. Why can I not speak? The wall is hollow, we presume, and there is something in it, and it's loud.
It sounds like my hamster. Well, no, actually, earlier on in the night, it sounded like my old hamster, like when he would scurry around and like scratch things and nibble things. At 3 a.m, it was banging on the pipes.
Yeah, it sounded not like a person, but it was a big animal.
It sounded like a workman, like honestly, like banging on something.
It was scary.
It was really loud.
Yeah. So I have this vision that a raccoon is going to eat through the wall and pounce on me like this in the middle of the night. It's not going to happen, but that's my fear. So we almost went to sleep on the sofa, but it somehow magically stopped as soon as we pretty much tried to leave the room. It was like, okay, now we've annoyed you so much, I'm going to be quiet now. But
We've woken you up and driven you crazy.
yeah, so that's actually why I'm tired. But I can't remember what I was saying. I think we spoke about this a little bit in the last episode, but there is no right way to do life. So if your education doesn't play out in the same way that other people's does, it doesn't mean that you're behind. It doesn't mean that you failed, like you said. It just means that you're doing things differently, and that's okay.
And you might end up with a way better life than
Yeah.
you would have ever had if you went to uni.
Exactly.
You never know.
Exactly. So you've got this.
You got this. Also, uni's not all it's cracked out to be. Like, do you use
Hell
your degree?
nah. No. And the interest is going up year on year, but I think the last time I looked at it, it was way over £60,000
Of debt.
of debt. For what? Like, I'm sorry, I went to uni during COVID. Everything that I learned in my degree, I could have learned on YouTube. And now I have 60k to pay back.
Yikes.
Yeah. So
That makes me glad that I didn't go.
Exactly. And it was in COVID, so I lived at home. I was going to live at home anyway, but I didn't have any friends. All my lectures were online. It's good vibes.
It is difficult because I guess if you want to be a specific job, like a nurse or a doctor or a dentist or something, like you do have to go to uni for that.
Yeah.
But you can go at a later date. You can do an access course.
Exactly.
And actually sometimes unis like that you have life experience and that you've been through things because it will make you better at your job and better at understanding.
Jinx.
You will.
Can read your mind.
You owe me a mango tango.
I'll make you one next time.
That's not going to make any sense to anyone. Basically, JC told me that she used to drink fizzy mango juice.
Yeah, but homemade, because I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I used to blend frozen mango and then mix it with a can of like sparkling water, but flavoured sparkling water, so it was a little bit sweeter. And it was so good. That was like my summer drink.
Yeah, that does. It sounds good.
Yeah, so I'll make it for you next, maybe. You'll look at it and be like, JC, I'm not drinking that. Especially out of that glass.
In the dirty cup. Next question. Ooh.
Yeah, I think we've got 2 left.
How do I tell a guy I just want to be friends after having been on one date?
To put it quite frankly and quite bluntly, you don't owe them anything. If they really like you, that's
Tough
not,
luck, darling.
It's not, at the end of the day, it's not your problem. You've met them once. You don't have to put their happiness before yours all of a sudden and really worry about they're going to be really upset, I'm going to ruin their day. Like, this is your life. If you're not happy, you're allowed to tell them that you're not happy and get out of it before it's too late.
Also, it's better to upset them now that they've only gotten to know you through one date than to be like 6 months down the line and be like, I'm in way too deep. Like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Something my dad said to me recently. He said, you can't be in a relationship because you feel sorry for the other person. And that, I think you need to hold on to your happiness. You need to hold on to what is right for you, because if you end up in a relationship that you're in because you feel bad for the other person or because the other person makes you feel bad, you're never going to be happy, and you're always going to be thinking like, this just isn't what I want, and you're going to feel stuck. Like, people go on first dates, second dates, third dates all the time and it doesn't work out all the time. You don't, as JC said, you don't owe them anything. You are so allowed to be like, I don't vibe with this person. It's like, sometimes I've had therapists that have been like, if you don't think we click, you just tell me. And I've always been like, I could never bring that up. That would be so awkward. But when it comes to dating, at the end of the day, there's plenty more fish in the sea. They haven't fallen head over heels in love with you after one date. And if they have, could be a red flag because it's like a little bit too much.
True.
You're not going to ruin their entire life.
No.
They will get over it.
Yeah.
But you will ruin your life if you get into something through the fear of upsetting them.
If you did that with everyone, imagine. Like, what?
Well, you'd end up in so many awful situations
Yeah.
because you'll be in relationships that you can't get out of because you're scared of upsetting them. Like, if the romantic feelings aren't there, if you're not enjoying it, you're well within your rights, and people do it all the time. I think that's what you need to remember. Like, you're not the first person who's ever going to have rejected someone.
Yeah.
And if you're really empathetic, you're probably thinking, oh, but I'd be so upset. And yeah, they might be upset for a little bit, but they will move on. They will find someone else. It will be okay.
And that's just life. At the end of the day, it's actually, you're doing a good deed and you're being a very kind person by stopping it before feelings get involved even more. Like, if it's 6 months or a year down the line and then the feelings have got even worse and you want to leave and you're trapped, you are going to hurt them so much more than if you just get it out in the open, be honest, and talk about your feelings. It's also like, they'll respect you a lot for that. Rather than living in this whole lie and then realising a year down the line that you've just lied to them the whole time. Like, it's actually pointless. Who is it benefiting? It's not benefiting you because you're unhappy. It's not benefiting them because they're being lied to, and it's going to end anyway. So, yeah,
better
tough love.
to do it. Yeah, better to do it sooner. And it is the nicer thing to do. So you're not being a bad person. You're being a lot nicer by being honest with them and being upfront.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
stand your ground. Have confidence. You are worth so much more than you think and so much more than you know, and you deserve to be happy.
Yeah, 100%. And also, if this person's not your person, there will be other people that will love you and will want to be with you and will be your person. I feel like sometimes it can be, if you have really low self-esteem, people get into relationships because they're like, oh my god, somebody loves me. Oh my gosh, somebody actually wants to be around me.
This is never going to happen again. Yeah.
It will happen again.
Yeah.
1000%. You will find your right person. Don't settle because you don't know your worth.
Facts.
Yeah, honey.
Your worth is up here. Even taller than that.
Even taller than the beam.
Yeah. Even taller than the sky. Go on. You could sing me to
like
sleep
I'm
here.
made of air.
Paper.
Like I'm a skyscraper.
That's what you are. We're going to call you our skyscrapers from now on.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
No,
we're not.
Hello, my little skyscrapers.
Last question. Do you ever feel like you want to cancel plans because you're just mentally exhausted?
Hee hee.
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Jackson in the house.
Hard relate.
Oh, yeah. Always, to be fair.
And we do it.
Yeah.
Not proud of it.
No, but
well,
you have to...
in some ways.
Proud of yourself for putting yourself and your needs first.
Yeah.
Because you deserve it. Like we've just said, you're worth putting yourself first. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
But
You deserve to put yourself first.
yeah, it's not selfish.
Also, I would never cancel on someone for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I respect other people's time and I value other people. And I wouldn't just be like, oh, I just can't be asked.
Yeah.
But if I'm so mentally exhausted that I know it's going to push me past the point of what I'm able to cope with.
And you might not even be a good time because you'll just be so like preoccupied when you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your friends will understand that. If you say to them, like, look, this is what's going on for me right now. I'm really struggling.
It's
I
nothing
just
personal.
can't do it. Yeah. They will hopefully understand that. If you're literally being like, I've got 5 minutes till we're meant to meet up, I can't really be bothered, then maybe don't do that.
Yeah, because what if they're like on the train already, like on
Yeah,
their way
it's
or
just-
there or
It's not fair. You wouldn't want someone to do that to
Yeah.
you. But
day before, morning of.
yeah, if you are really mentally exhausted and you just can't do it, that's okay. You're not, you need to recharge. You need to put yourself first. And
You can always reschedule as well.
yeah,
And also imagine, say we're going out tomorrow and you message me tonight and just say, JC, I didn't get much sleep last night. I need to do this, this and this today. I'm really stressed out. I mean, you did say to me the other day you were stressed out. And I was like, if you want to, we can reschedule. Like,
yeah,
I would much rather you feel happy and not stressed rather than be like elsewhere whilst you're here and feel like you have 101 other things to do. And like, there's never any pressure from me for you to meet up with me. I'm not going to be like, I hate you now because you cancelled our plans. Like, I would give you the space because I want you to be happy and I care about you. So I'd want you to be stress-free and mentally in a good place. So if someone else said that to you, you would completely understand.
yeah.
So they're also going to completely understand when you say it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also maybe ask to do something more chill.
Yeah.
Like if you're meant to be going out to a busy space and you're like, I'm so mentally exhausted, I cannot handle that today. Why not say to them, hey, would you be up for just coming around sitting on my sofa and watching a film because I want to spend time with you, but I just can't face it tonight. Something like that.
And that will never disappoint them because at the end of the day, you have the plans because they want to spend time with you. Yeah, sometimes there are situations where you're going out for the activity, but a lot of the time what makes the activity fun is the company that you're with.
Yeah.
So whether you're sitting on the sofa and just watching a movie or you're out going shopping, like at the end of the day, you're still with each other. So you can just do it another day.
Yeah. And I would hate for any of my friends to not feel like they could say that to me.
Yeah.
If you're mentally exhausted, I respect it. I understand it. I totally get it. And I want to be there for you.
Yeah.
And if you want me to help you and you want to just talk
Yeah.
and you want to just sit and chat and have a chilled time, I'm there for that. Equally, if you need space, it's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do cancel plans from mental exhaustion sometimes, but not willy-nilly. I wouldn't do that.
No. It will have to be like, it's actually quite serious. Well, not
Yeah.
serious, but you know what I mean? Like, it would really not be a fun time if I push through with that and it would lead to bigger consequences.
Yeah.
But it's totally okay. And you're well within your rights, once again, to say no and step back from situations when you know you can't handle it.
I feel like this was a great episode.
Yeah, it's got quite deep.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we do give some good advice sometimes. Pat on the back.
Not a high five.
Pat on the back.
Although we have discovered that JC can fist bump.
I can, because it's like, I feel like, I was going to say it's more surface area. Yeah, it's meant to be like that, isn't it?
Ooh, the way our knuckles just went. Wait, it just
They're
feels
like
like
a puzzle
wrong.
piece.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Forgot that we were on camera then.
No, I don't know what I'm going to say.
No.
No. Yeah. I prefer a fist bump over a high five. It feels more solid. A high five, I think, is just floppy.
It's a bit too
Floppy
much
fish.
sweat in the palms.
Yeah. My palms are sweaty right now.
We're going to go get some lunch, aren't we?
Yeah.
Why do I speak to you like a 5-year-old? We're going to go get some lunch,
What are you
aren't
going to
we?
make for me?
Corn, dinosaurs and mash.
Corn.
Corn.
Corn. I don't think I've ever had... I know I have had those corn nuggets.
Corn nuggets
You
are
made
really
me,
good.
like, a mashed potato tower with dinosaurs on it.
Yeah.
And broccoli trees.
That's what I was getting at.
Thank you.
I just didn't explain it.
Can't wait. Let us know what you're having for lunch. I hope you're having lunch. You?
Why did you turn into a school teacher? Thank you for joining us in the comfort zone again. We will see you next Sunday. We love you so very much. Look after yourself. Remember how loved you are. And we will see you
Next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.